All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So the discussion of folding phones. This isn't so much about the Z Fold 2 in a sense, but just the idea of folding phones. Why are so many people indifferent about this at this point in the game? It's 2021. I would think a lot of people will want some direction of innovation other than just the regular slab style device. A regular slab device with just a big screen. Even LG has jumped on board and decided we're going to switch things up and give you a flick out screen. So innovation has to move forward in some way or another. And I feel like a lot of people aren't ready for that because change is difficult for a lot of people. But being able to run multiple applications on your display like this is absolutely great. I think this is a huge plus to being able to utilize a device. Now I have several tablets and tablets can be obviously hard to lug around and they could be annoying. So with that being said, I really don't understand the way of feeling as though this is a useless device. And this isn't directed to any one person. On a regular basis, I get tons of people saying that this is overkill, it's not worth it, the devices are irrelevant. It's just not good. But I love to have the discussion with people who feel like these devices and foldable phones are worthless at this point, or just not, they don't have a place in the tech world. But if you think about it, a lot of people back in the day asked for cell phones to move in a different direction. And when it does it, it's not going to be just this flaw. See, I think the issue is that a lot of people want the devices to be what they want them to be, not so much thinking of the entire world and how we're going to use these devices. You know what I'm saying? So with the Z Fold 2, I've had the Z Fold 2, the one, the flip, both flips, and I can't think of. I have the Axon still. I had the Duo. There's plenty of options out there for a folding device. But when it comes to multitasking, having a 7.6-inch display in your hand when you want it is absolutely great. So I'm going to swipe this away here. This is a huge canvas. And the fact that this particular device has a 120 hertz display full time, that's a huge plus. Now, there are some trade-offs right now if you want a device like this with the screen with no split down the middle and all this type of jazz. You're going to have to deal with having a plastic, or basically a plastic display, a thin sheet of glass with thick plastic over it. You're going to have to deal with that first before you get to this point of having glass, because glass obviously can't bend. It can't continuously bend like that. So I'm okay. Let me say this for the record. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with having a slit down the center for two pieces of glass. The Duo was a great device, but I sold it because the software experience was horrible. I mean, it was just a horrible. I tried that device for a month and a half or whatever. And, hey, I just wasn't willing to wait any longer. You pay full cost for something, then it goes on sale. And it's on sale now for like $400 off around the world, probably, or, however they're doing it. But I just feel like when it comes to folding devices, I would prefer glass with a split down the middle. I'm okay with that, as long as you produce the software to balance it out. So right now there's talks of Samsung doing, or Apple doing a folding device, and Google doing a Pixel folding device. I'm all for this. I hope Apple does it, and I really pray that Google does it. Again, rumor mill at this point, but it's inevitable, folks. It's inevitable. They're not going to let that part of the game just skate past them and not take a stab at it. Google has the best software and the best cameras, in my humble opinion, of using all these devices. Samsung gives you just so many feature-rich things, man. It's just incredible. And Microsoft with the Duo, they dropped the ball with the software. I would have preferred just a special version of Windows Mobile that can run all the applications the same, so you don't need the Google Store. They should have kept it all Microsoft. That's where the Duo fails for me. Like BlackBerry OS switching to Android. What? It's not a BlackBerry if it's running Android. You know what I'm saying? So the Duo could have been great. But unfortunately right now, the only folding devices that are hitting hard is this device right here. The Z Fold 2, the Z Fold 1 for people that still have it, the Z Flips, all of those devices are hitting hard right now because the software is there, the functionality is there. Having basically an 8-inch tablet in your hand and then folding it away whenever you want to, that's beast mode. And then if you don't want a tablet, boom. This discussion is really old because I would think by now people would get it. And some people say, well, that elongated style, that 21:9, this is perfect for me. I love an easy phone to hold because if you have a wide phone, in most cases, if you have a phone that's too wide, you're not going to really it's going to be too cumbersome. It's going to be too bulky at times. And this isn't even really a wide phone, but you compare it next to the Z Fold, you can see the Z Fold 2 is much easier to handle. You know what I mean? So again, this all really comes down to personal preference. In the end, it's up to you to decide what you're going to use. But I'm telling you, folks, if you're still on the fence and you still haven't tried a folding device, the Z Fold 2 in particular, or the Duo, or just whatever floats your boat, let me tell you something. Folding devices have so much more functionality, all the way down to the freaking camera for Samsung. Look at this. I fold it like this. Look at this view I get. Look at this. This is incredible right here. Just the simplest things mean a lot when it comes to this particular device. I think, okay, let me go ahead and be honest too, by the way. Samsung set the standard for folding phones because the functionality in this one, like right now, preview is turned on. Meaning whatever I'm recording, the person can see it too. You see what I'm saying? So this is the golden standard for me. If a company is going to launch, something out there that's going to try to compete in the folding game, you got to slam it with functionality. You have to slam it with functionality or people are not going to flock to it. They want to really be convinced that not having carrying their iPad, because let's be frank, let's be honest, the iPads run the tablet game. And I have like 5 Android tablets. Some of them are great too, but with no support, it's a shame. Like my Huawei tablet, Harman Kardon speakers, banging screen, metal body, way better than an iPad on a bad day. However, no support. It's got updates and stuff like that, but it just feels sluggish. I don't know. No support. But that tablet is one of the most premium tablets I have. And then I have a bunch of LTE tablets. I have LTE laptops that fold into tablets, convertibles. I have a lot of stuff, but not needing that and just using this with pro video, pro everything. I feel like the title pro is being utilized correctly on this device. It really is, folks. It's being used right on this phone, son. I mean, this is a great device. I shouldn't call it just a phone. This is a phablet. Remember the term phablet? It was because the phones were really big. Remember that term? No, son. This is a phablet. The ultimate phablet right now. It is. You got to stop sleeping on this. You got to see this for what it is. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? I know you don't want to hear that, but the fact of the matter is, this is a phablet. Some people are probably like, phablet? What is that? Back in the day, there was a terminology being used called phablet. And it was basically phones with big screens, with really big screens, and they were just jumbo-sized phones. That's what it was. That's all it was. Just jumbo-sized phones. Now, I humbly tell you, the number one phablet, it's no joke. I mean, I guess I'm not, let me say this. I'm not trying to convince anybody to buy the Z Fold 2. I'm talking about, in general, folding phones will replace regular slabs. My OnePlus Nord. Great phone. Beast mode phone. But I can do so much more on this phone than this phone. You know what I mean? It's just inevitable that this gets replaced by this. And then check out what's the name of this day? I think Huawei just beat Samsung to the punch with the no gap in their design. Like right now, this has a gap over here. It's not noticeable because of my case right now. So, but you see how this kind of slants off? Huawei, the X2 has like a different design where it's kind of small on one side and big on the other. They killed it. They killed it. And I say they beat Samsung to the punch on that because I know Samsung's going to probably come with something like that. So, hey, I'll leave it up to you. If you think that the folding devices are not functional and not really good, hey, look, hashtag respect, son. I respect your comments and your feelings and your opinions and your thoughts. But most of the time, it's from the people who don't actually own the devices. And they just play with it for a little bit, or their cousin has it, or they know somebody that has it, or just you hold it, oh, it's too heavy, it's too big. In order to get the feel of something and know if you're really going to be down with it, you got to turn off your other phone, or you got to use the device, period. Like, how could I have moved? Side note, because there's going to be people that say, when a car does that. Okay, so check it out. So you guys know that I was pro Mopar pretty much. I don't know when. I've always rocked with Mopar. From my 30s to my 40s, I rock with Mopar pretty much. Now that I'm past that, I've always wanted a Cadillac. So the car you see me showing sometimes in videos from other channel, that is a real luxury car, in my opinion. So how could I have switched from Mopar just abruptly like that, so some of you guys thought, and just sell all my Mopars and switch it up, get me a new truck, get me a Cadillac, and get another little Beamer? How could I have switched all that up without trying it? I've always loved Cadillacs. I've always had a love for that car. You know what I'm saying? Even though I was a Mopar fiend, the Cadillac is where it's at, son. Driving that car for several weeks was like, this is it. Yeah, this is the one. Let me go ahead and order one of these. You see what I'm saying? So you got to try it. You got to buy it and try it. And a lot of places don't know that, even down to cars, if we're going to stay on that topic for a minute, most places will let you keep the car as long as they run your credit, son, or you pay cash for it, whatever you do, however you paying for it, and they know you're going to buy a car, they'll let you take a car for 2-3 weeks. Drive it, see how you like it, loan it to you. Then when you come back and say, I think I want to order one of these, I'm going to order one of these. They just put that car, they put it on the miles, they put it in the loaner program, and then they resell it and make even more money off of it. So cell phones, even Samsung has 100 days now for cell phones. You could try this phone for 100 days. I don't know how the program works because I just pay for my stuff. So, but it's not a bad idea to start getting into folding phones now, because this form factor is gonna become the norm, folks. Trust me when I tell you. Now remember how reluctant I was about smartwatches? Now I pretty much wear a smartwatch all the time. I use a sleep monitor. I do a whole bunch of stuff with it. I'm learning to accept some realities, and I'm going to get on board when it's at the beginning. I'm going to get in and try it out so I can get myself ready for it. I think this is a good thing. This isn't the best feeling folding phone. It's chunky, it's big, it's clunky at times, but it feels great, man. I threw a case on it, and I have different cases, but I just wanted to put this case on it. But just having the ability to do that is beast mode. And then when I'm editing videos, man, look, the processing power behind this thing. Why is that saying accept? I was about to say, I've already edited. They probably changed some rules or something. But just editing on here, this is a full-blown editor. Look at the videos I edit on here. I do a lot of videos with this phone. So I suggest that you get on board, man. I suggest you get on board and you accept the reality that folding phones are here to stay. They're not going anywhere, and you just have to get on board with it. It's your man Jay. What do you think about folding phones? Are you down now? Also, how many people are using a folding phone right now? It doesn't have to be this phone, but how many people are using a folding phone right now and they love it and they see the functionality that other people can't see yet? And you just like, oh, if only they knew. Shout me out in the comments. It's your man Jay. I'm out.